YouTube Tuesday, session 73, with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B, Creative Cardiology. Welcome, happy Tuesday to you. I hope that everyone has adjusted to our daylight savings. We fell backwards, so it's the whole fall backwards 1 hour here. And I'll tell you what, Sunday morning, I just slept right through that hour like it never happened. So yeah, so hopefully everybody's adjusting to the little bit of a time change. So today I'm continuing with the whole Eden's Garden collection that we have. I've been sharing cards here throughout the past week. And today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I didn't quite feel like making a card today. And I had in my mind that I wanted to do one of those pretty framed samplers. And so I just started cutting some cardstock, some different squares, and I hope you'll like what I have for you today. I was feeling good. I actually had everything cut and prepped and ready to go, and I have my idea fully in mind, which is a little different for me because quite often when I jump on, I've got my concept, but haven't actually executed it yet. So I hope you'll enjoy today's video where we are making a framed sampler using the Eden's Garden collection. And doing something a little bit different today. So I have all of my shades of blue and green, new sweater on. I even changed my eyeshadow and put on my turquoise color instead of my usual blue. Kind of going with my green theme today. Hey Jesse Williams, hey David, hey hubby. Yes, it is beautiful out, sunny, a little cool, but really nice for considering we're into November 9th already, which is crazy. Hey Wendy, oh, it's soggy in South Wales. Well, I'm sorry you're having the rain, but yeah, hope the sun comes back out for you, and at least you don't have to feel guilty being in the craft room when it's rainy, right? All right, let me flip and we will get right into this, okay? So here we go. Oops, get the light going. All right, so you can see my host code here for November. And this is important because I'm offering a free Eden's Garden class to go with anyone who places a $60 order by tomorrow. So you have through Wednesday, November 10th to place an order of $60 or more using my host code MADSSUP2. All right, and if you place that $60 order, not only will I email you all of my tutorials, but you'll actually get a project kit to make. You'll have a project kit to make this fun gift box sampler, 6 cards here. So I've got all the kits, they're ready to go. Everything is packaged all nice and tidy. And you'll even get this fun little, these are the Ferraro Rocher little hazelnut chocolate squares there. So yeah, lots of fun stuff. Hey Nessa, hello. Oops, shook my camera there. Hi Elizabeth. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining me today. And if you haven't already, please make sure you like, subscribe, thumbs up, all of that good stuff here for my YouTube channel. So we are playing with the Eden's Garden collection. So that's the stamp set. It is these beautiful dies. You can see my stamps are missing. I've got them on blocks already. We have our beautiful paper here with the gold foil. All these fun designs. There's the cotton paper. And then we even have these gorgeous jewels. I love this marquee cut. So fun. Really pretty. But yeah, you can do the whole collection here. You can do a buy it all for $82, or you can just get the bundle or the papers. You absolutely need the gems though, no matter what. So those are my absolute favorite. And good news is everything is in stock, so you don't have to wait for anything, which is awesome. All right, so like I said, we are going to make a sampler today. And I tend to like the smaller samplers a little bit. I don't always want a giant 12 by 12 framed piece on my wall. So I decided to start with what was easy at hand. And so I took a standard sheet of soft succulent cardstock, and I actually just made that into a square. So this is 8.5 by 8.5. Okay, so I only needed to cut one little hunk off the bottom. So we're doing an 8.5 by 8.5 sampler here today. All right, so to go along with that, we are going to need 9 Evening Evergreen squares. I wanted a little bit of contrast. So our squares are 2.5 inches. So you need 9 2.5-inch Evening Evergreen squares. And we are just going to start adhering these down. Now I do recommend starting with your 4 corners and then working your way towards the center. So hopefully I'll eyeball this and space it correctly, but you want about a 1/2 inch from each side to start with. All right, so again, we're gonna do the outside squares and work our way in. And the Eden's Garden collection here makes a nice arrangement for a sampler, or really for anything, because you don't need a lot of colors and a lot of extra products. You just need your Evening Evergreen and your soft succulent. You need that cardstock and your ink pads. And that is really about all you need. Okay, so again, coming in about 1/2 inch. All right, so I like to do the outside pieces first because then you can always center your middle pieces in between them and you can kind of make adjustments as necessary to make everything look just like it's supposed to. If you start going across a row and things get out of whack, well, then it's a little bit harder to fix. But see, like this, I can evenly space this here between the two. And I decided I'd rather have a larger border and narrower center pieces. So that's why I've gone with this size. Okay, so, all right, make sure I've got all of my pieces here. So like I said, 9 of the Evening Evergreen squares at 2.5 inches each. Okay. And then, so we're just essentially kind of making a tic-tac-toe board here to start. All right, so even as I'm working my way around, I am doing the outside edges first. So I did all 4 corners and then filling in the edges, and then the center square will be the very last one. Okay. So that is the nice thing too with when working with squares, is that they can all be the exact same size and there's not a lot of finicky measurements or anything like that. Okay, so we have our 9 board sampler to start with. All right, so our next layer is going to be gold foil. I wanted a nice bright contrast, and with these beautiful specialty papers, with all of that gold foil detail, I really wanted things to have a nice shimmer to them. So our next size down, then I went 1/4 of an inch smaller. So our gold foil squares, again, you'll need, actually you're only going to need 8 of these because I'm going to do something a little bit different on the center square. So you need 8 of the gold foil squares, and these are 2.25 inches. Okay, and since you've already got the hard part, you've already got your base squares on, with these gold foil, you can just go ahead and layer right on top, just as you're ready. So actually, it didn't really take long to prep, because like I said, you only need soft succulent, Evening Evergreen, and in this case, a little bit of gold foil. And working with squares, it's easy to cut a whole row of squares right through your trimmer. All right. Hey, Janelle, how are you? We are making a sampler, a framed sampler piece today. So deviating a little bit from our usual cards and things, but I don't know, I was in the mood to do something a little bit different. And I know you guys don't see me do a lot of boxes and 3D items because while they are fun to gift, I don't really have a lot of space for things like that to sit on my shelves. I'm just like, unless it has a real purpose, I don't really have things out and about. So I'd rather have a framed sampler that I could actually hang on the wall so that everybody could, who comes over could enjoy it. And with your framed pieces, you can always rotate them out too. You can always, I know my grandma used to do that as we'd give her our new school pictures for each year. She would then kind of, it's funny when after she died and we helped to clean out her house and we were all, my dad's brothers and sisters and things, we were all going through the family photos and each family, you know, taking the photos of their children. And we took apart some of the frames and there would be like 12 photos stuck in the frame because she just kept putting the newest photo in the front and leaving the older photo there in the frame. I guess that was a good idea because then they were always all together. So you could kind of do the same thing with framed art too. You could rotate it out for the seasons and things if you like. All right, so it's actually coming together pretty quick. So our base was soft succulent, 8.5 by 8.5. We had 9 2.5-inch Evening Evergreen squares. We have 8 2.25-inch gold foil squares. And then we are going to come in and we are going to do 8 2-inch Eden's Garden specialty paper squares. And I am going to rotate these. So we have, I wanted to use all of the specialty, all the foil designs. And so there's actually 6 different foil designs. So I'm going to repeat 2 of them twice. But I've noticed there tends to be a little bit of a pattern. We've got our darker with the Evening Evergreen background. And then we have some that are lighter with a mix of kind of leafy foil designs. So it's got more of a white background here. So, and then we have a few patterns that have more of your soft succulent background. So I am going to try to arrange these on my board so that we space them out nicely so I don't have like the 2 Evening Evergreen. Like you can see, I didn't really want those 2 dark ones next to each other. So I'm going to space these out and have a little, kind of a little pattern as we go around. So I did dark, white, and then the light. And so then we'll have dark, and I'm going to put white here in the center, and then the light. Okay, so that way it spaces them out nicely as we go around. I'm just using Stampin' Seal on these. Hi, Kathy. Glad you could join us today. We are doing a pretty little sampler here with our Eden's Garden collection. All right, so continue. So we have dark, light, and medium, and light and dark. So, oops, this one I forgot to glue. Okay. And we're going to follow that all the way around. Now you notice I've left the center one blank. I've got some fun things planned for the center. So right now I'm leaving that one blank. Okay, so here's our other white one. So like I said, we have 6 different foil print patterns. So I'm going to use 2 of them twice. So this particular one, I'm doing 2 squares of that. And okay, so here's our medium. It's going to go up in the corner. Okay. And I do love these leafy designs because they're not directional, which means the leaves kind of go all over the place and you can really place them anywhere you want. All right, so this is the other one I'm doing 2 of here. But you can pick your favorite patterns and just use those or whatever you like. I did want to use all the different foils because I just like that shimmery, shiny piece. Okay, so when it comes to the center, doing something a little bit different, I have taken our die. We have the beautiful die set, and so I thought it might be neat to pull in this beautiful leaf frame. So what I did, I kind of tested it out and decided, okay, if I were to die cut something and place it in the center, how would that look? And I think that's going to be okay. So what I've done is I ran some Evening Evergreen cardstock. This is just a quarter sheet, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 with my with the large wreath die there. And they punch out really nicely. Now I did not do any adhesive sheets or anything on here. I just cut it out as is because I thought with doing a frame, I've got one little piece that's sticking here at the bottom. With it being a frame, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals to pop this up. So the center you can save for another project. You've got room to do a little bit of die cutting out of that. Okay. All right. So, and then voila, just a little bit of very, very minimal waste to throw away there. All right. So I am going to pull in, make sure we get all those little doodads out of the way. All right. Coming in with my black mini dimensionals to use on this Evening Evergreen frame here. Whoops, I guess they have a mind of their own today. All right, so I'm just going to space these out on some of the kind of the wider leaves where they intersect there. Try to space this out nicely all the way around. Now the difference with this framed piece rather than a card is that I am going to put this in a frame, and so it's not going to be handled. So you really don't need to maybe protect it as much as you would with a card. So if I were doing a card, I might put a little bit more adhesive or something on here just to keep everything intact. But I think for these, just a few little mini dimensionals all the way around will work out nicely. Okay, so let's shake off any paper dust. All right, and now let's space that. Okay, looks like does that look even to you guys? All right, I think that's about even in the center. Okay, so the next thing, I am going to pull in an extra set of dies. These are the Stitched So Sweetly dies. They're not new. They carried over from last year's catalog. And so I'm using this large piece. It's kind of a fun little shape. And I've die cut that with our gold foil as well. I wanted something to kind of draw the eye and make the center the focal point here, because the paper is so pretty with all the gold foil accents. I'm just letting the paper shine for itself and really having the center be my focal where I'm going to do most of my decorating. So I really liked the stitched element on that. Something a little bit different. So again, these are the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Okay. All right, so as you can tell, now that we've got our leafy frame here, we can go ahead and put our gold foil piece on here. And let's go ahead and put some dimensionals on this as well. Okay. I know sometimes framed pieces can seem a little bit intimidating. So you can keep it simple like this one and stick mostly to squares. And then then it doesn't seem too crazy. So I am just trying to make sure I space this out a little bit, and depending on how you position it, yeah, we can have our leaves kind of overlap that just a little bit. Okay, so next element, I wanted to bring in a little bit more of that soft succulent. So I'm using this die piece. It's a little bit, kind of like a little bit of a banner. And it's got the fun little leaves at the end. This piece, I'm going to adhere flat in the center. So again, just putting my adhesive right across that banner and then place that right here in the middle. All right, so I love having all the different leaves and the little textures and things like that. And again, the dies are doing all the work for us. Okay, so if you've got a scrap of basic white, you need something big enough to stamp on. So this piece is 2.5 inches wide here, and it really doesn't matter how long. I just grabbed a leftover piece of basic white that was in my stash. So I'm going to do my stamping with our beautiful flower here using the soft succulent. Again, if your ink pad is super juicy, you might want to stamp off first, because you don't need a lot of ink. It is a distinctive design stamp, so you'll have the different color variations and things right there in your stamped image, which is really cool. Okay, so with this piece, unfortunately, there is not a die for these. The dies that come in the bundle are not meant to specifically cut out the stamped images, so they do work independently of each other. So if you really like the dies but didn't care for the stamp set, you could just do the dies, and that's perfectly fine. So with this one, you will need to fussy cut that. All right, so at least the edges are fairly bold and a little bit sharp. So it's not, well, that depends. If you like fussy cutting, then great. If you don't, you might find this a little bit tedious. But thankfully it's not a large image, so it really isn't too bad. And actually, for video's sake, like I said, I was actually fully prepared today. So I'm not going to make you watch me cut out the whole thing. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of where you might start here, like on a pointier piece. Go all the way around the edges. And then when you're done, you end up with something that looks like this. And I do feel like it dries just a little bit lighter. So don't worry if it's super dark. That's okay. I love that. So we have this beautiful random floral piece that I think will fit really nicely right there in the center for us. So again, let's pop that up. Oh, Janelle says she loves this suite. Hey, Carmen, glad you made it. How are you today? Aw, nice to have some of you on with me today. We've missed you all. And I know the time change kind of throws everybody's schedule off just a little bit, especially when we're dealing with international time zones for many of you. All right, so we fussy cut our Eden's Garden, our main floral image here. But that wasn't too bad. Didn't take me too long. Few dimensionals on the back here. And then this flower, again, however you want to arrange it on your card, because it really doesn't seem to have an upside or a downside. It's kind of abstract, so you can put it on there any way that you like. All right, so now that we've got kind of all of our pieces in place, now comes the fun part of doing some of the decorating. This side you're gonna have to help me with. So I've pulled in, I've got some of the Evening Evergreen as well as the soft succulent open weave ribbon, because I thought I would like a bow on here somewhere. And then I've taken, oops, So we've used our large framed leaf. We've used our banner die. And then I've used the little piece here for some of these fun little dies and things. Like I said, if you cut out the middle piece, you can also do the second frame inside it, and then the little flower will fit inside that too. So I've prepped a bunch as I was making my class kits and things. And so I've got just a random assortment here. I've got some gold foil leaves. I have some in the Evening Evergreen. And I kind of thought maybe we would just maybe arrange a few on here kind of at random. So with my, you'll notice some of these do have adhesive sheets on the back, and that's because as I was prepping the dies for my boxed class kit here, I wanted to make sure I had adhesive sheets on there. So of course I had the center portions and things, and that's waste not, want not there. I haven't wasted anything. So so some of these extra little pieces, again, I just stick them in a little one of our little clear envelopes and tuck them inside with my stamps and things so that we can have extra, just kind of keep all the extra little pieces together. And the gold ones I did not, so I will need some little dimensionals on those. Okay, so let's use a few minis on this, and I do like having some of that different texture kind of popping up here and there. Okay, so then we can maybe tuck some of this, kind of tuck it in. So then we've got the soft succulent peeking out from behind, a little bit of the evergreen and the gold. Yeah, should we do that? Well, let's do that. We'll kind of, and we'll frame out the center here. I think that'll work. All right, so love it when you peel off the back of an adhesive sheet and all the little pieces go with it. That's great. And then you don't have to poke them out. All right. We'll kind of do this. And then, yeah, a couple more little minis here for our gold foil pieces. What do you guys think so far? Looks like it's kind of coming together here. Okay, yeah. All right, so I still have a leftover one for another project. All right, clean these little pieces off my work surface. I find dimensional papers, like, what's the weirdest place that you've ever found them? I've found dimensional backings in some really random places. I think they must stick to my sweaters and my socks and things like that. You know, I've found them on the bathroom floor before, and I'm like, how in the world did you get in here? Some of them are a little bit crazy. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to pull in my, what do you guys think? Should I go with soft succulent or the Evening Evergreen? I feel like we need a bow on here. So I'm going to pull in, thank you, Carmen, for my little bow maker here. All right, I need to space this a little bit closer together on a smaller bow. So I'll make one of each. We'll do one in the soft succulent here and see how we like that. Oops, come on here. So we could do, here we go. We could do something like that. Or I've got one little piece. I need to order some more Evening Evergreen ribbon. This is my last little, like, 7-inch piece. Must have been saving it for this project. All right. Try not to wobble my camera on you guys too much. Okay, there we go. Pull off the ribbon. All right, so we could go with the soft succulent, or we could do a little, it looks like I've got, looks like cinnamon cider ink on my hands from something. So what do you guys think? Should I go with the soft succulent or the Evening Evergreen for the bow? What do you guys like best? I kind of like, they're both really pretty. All right, so I'll let you guys decide on the bow, and while I do that, how about we decorate? So I thought it'd be fun, go in and use some of these garden gems. They're really pretty. So you have the marquee cut ones in this iridescent greenish color, and then our large and small circular ones that are kind of a reddish tint to them. So you really could kind of go any which way. So I'm going to use large ones on the center flowers. And I figure, you know what, we're going to frame this. So we can use as many jewels as we want. Oh, Lori likes both. All right, so Kathy likes the dark, and Jessie and Carmen like the light, and Lori likes both. Okay, and Sandy's voting for the soft succulent. All right, so it looks like the lighter, the soft succulent, is unanimous there. That is the winner so far. So let me bring in my glue dots here. And we will, thank you ladies for helping me with that. I'll go ahead and kind of tuck this right in here, and then I can trim up my ribbon ends. Oops, let's see. I'm going to rotate this because I don't want to move everything. There we go. Okay. So it looks like my ends are just about even there. Okay, so we've got 3 large ones. I feel like let's go in and add some of these little, let's do some of these smaller ones too. So I love these little garden gems. So they're $7 for the sheet of gems. They're included in the collection, but I feel like you're gonna need a few more gems. Okay, so it looks like, let's do a couple more. Let's go with a couple more kind of over here. Do a couple of extra little pieces. Yeah, just kind of random. There we go. Let's do, we'll kind of space it out. We'll do a large and a small. I'm gonna put another little small one over here too, just because, so we can use lots of them. Really love those. Okay, and then let's pull in and let's do a few of these little marquee pieces on here as well. So our center really will be a beautiful focal point here. So we'll just kind of point out in the different directions with our leaves. Maybe let's do a trio. Let's kind of come out and do this a little bit. Kind of just point them out of the center. All right, what do you guys think? Should I add some more here and there, or should I kind of leave it a little bit? But isn't it pretty? Love it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of fun. So many different ways you can decorate these. And while we're waiting, I'll show you guys in case you've missed some of my others. Actually, this is one of my tutorials coming up for the month. Oops, sorry, the light's a little finicky. So you can definitely go ahead and add lots of them. I don't know. Do you think we should add a few more? We could. Totally could add a few more. And the gems are a lot of fun. You could just do a few even. But look at how you can make your own little flower arrangements. Aren't these fun? There's so many different ways you could do it. Even just putting them on at random and kind of here and there. So, I mean, the possibilities are limitless there. All right, so Sandy is saying less is more. That's true. That's true. And I'm definitely usually a less is more. But when it comes to these jewels, I'm like, let's just put them all on and bling it all up. Okay, so Carmen says, looks good. All right. Oh, Janelle says she loves the project. Yeah, isn't that fun? So let me see if I've got, it's been a while since I've done, oops, you guys hear the crash? Been a while since I've done a framed piece, but, oh, you can see the dust on here, but I do have a few extra frames. Sorry, that's my lamp that's showing that little circular glow. But, yeah, so I do have some frames. These are from the M store. You know which one I'm talking about. But the Studio Decor, and every now and then you can get their frames or bundled prices. Usually it's like buy one, get one free or something like that. So this has a wider frame on it with a space for an 8x8. So I think that might work. Otherwise, I do have one here in white, although I'm pretty sure I could get it in black. This is a 10x10 inch. So if your frame is bigger than your project, then that's not a problem. You could always just add another layer of background cardstock behind it. That's the white. I think I kind of like the black frame better. What do you guys think? I always go for, I want frames that are sturdy, but still inexpensive. So I don't ever spend too much on these. Let's see. Now this frame, the opening for this one is an 8x8. So I'm actually gonna have to probably trim my piece down a little bit because my sampler here is actually an 8.5 by 8.5. Yeah, this was an 8x8, so I'm not going to use the mat in here either. I can save that for something else. So I need to clean out the frame. Whoo-wee. I don't know how it gets so dusty in some of those places, but let me grab my trimmer a little bit. So like I said, this is 8.5. So essentially I need to take about 1/4 of an inch off each side. So I'm going to use my little trimmer here and go in and do 1/4 of an inch. I'm just going to rotate this all the way around. Okay, so just 1/4 of an inch, and that's actually still going to leave me with some of that that soft succulent background peeking through there. So we'll still have our contrast. I think that'll be good. Okay, so we've got that. Let me pop this in the back here. We'll finish putting the rest of the doodads in the back that came with it. And just go ahead and tuck this in here. And that way I can actually show you the finished piece. So we truly did make a framed sampler piece today. All right, let's see. Oh, voila. Oh, it's upside down. I want my bow hanging in the right direction. All right. What do you guys think? Woohoo! So I will, I'll try to, yeah, the measurements are really easy. So I'll type those up and leave those in the video description, as well as the list of supplies. But again, the supply is very, very simple, very minimal. I used the new Eden's Garden collection. We added some soft succulent and evening evergreen cardstock with some gold foil, and a little bit of the soft succulent ribbon there, and that is about it. So I will post some pictures as well. And yeah, hope you liked that project. And if you're enjoying these Eden's Garden collection, then don't forget to place your online order with me today, or by tomorrow, and I will send you a nice package here to make all 6 cards, as well as the fun little gift box with tag to keep them in, and the little special bowl of chocolates there too. All right. So yeah, so the class is free with a $60 purchase, and you've got my host code here. So I'll put all that details in the video description, and I think that about wraps it up. But don't forget to like, subscribe, thumbs up, share my project. You guys know the drill. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you all for joining me here this afternoon. And yeah, I look forward to making more samplers and things with you guys in the future. I really enjoy that. All right, well, take care, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll be stamping with you soon. Bye-bye.